they was long ago, now it's in the spine. They're gonna fall, they're gonna pay. They're gonna strike by, they're gonna pay.
And everybody say no war, no war. People in the street, no war, no war. They don't agree with the fact that the only response is a nuclear strike.
They're gonna burn insurgent. War,
war.
The only world insane.
War,
The only thing that wanted.
war.
Do they even know what it means?
Yes, we score tonight.
Big man on his promises. They're where to slide. They can't keep their promises. We all knew that. Big man on his promises. They're where to slide. They can't keep their promises. We all knew that.
Promises and lies. Yes! Shame on them, guys. Yeah, well, something's going on. And hello, welcome to the Unknown Show with Kra-Z Wren-A. Something's going on, and I could not do a show today. I mean, that was just an impossibility. Too much going on. And I am so happy that those World II veterans really got it together and just really socked it to them, didn't they? I'm so proud of those guys. Wow! Maybe that's the start of a new beginning. We don't know. We don't know what's in the future, do we? We don't know, if it's a government shutdown, but what if they shut down everything? They still have the power, hey? Well, at least we think so, but, I don't know. If they can get in there and put them in handcuffs and take them away, well, But you got to get the other guys, too, above them. Don't forget those guys. People keep forgetting about the Rothschilds and the Medicis and the Rockefeller groups and so on and so on. Those are literally the kings and queens of this world. If you go way back, which most people forgot their history, they probably flunked history anyway, because history was pretty boring. At least it was for me. Boring. But some people love history. It just depends on the person. Everybody's different, I have my things and other people have theirs. And that's just the way it was, right? In school. Some things you like, some things you don't. Just the way it goes. So anyway, if you go way back in history, you will find out that there used to be castles and kings and queens, and there used to be other people, but the people below the kings and the queens and the princes and the princesses and all this other junk were called the peasants, okay? We are the peasants. We are the slave. It's slaves, so slave peasants, that's us. But this could be a big turnaround if we just knock them out of society forever. We really don't need control over us. We don't need those Stalins. We don't need no Hitlers. We don't need these guys. Why do we need these guys? What for? What's the purpose? Do we need to be looked after? Can't we do things on our own? Can't we, just get it, keep it together and do things on our own? I think we're more intelligent than that to not have to have, be controlled all our lives, I thought that ended when you were 18 years old. Right. So, yes, I like what they were saying, though. Ooh, I loved it. I was just loving it this morning. But then I thought, it's getting late. I have to go to bed sometime. So I finally just left the computer and went to bed the rest of the day and thought, well, hope the world doesn't blow up when I'm sleeping. But you never know. So, yeah, it was exciting. But there was this one video I listened to. And it was like those other videos that you hear sometimes where the, they have strange noises throughout the world. And they were having one of those strange noises over there in D.C. And I don't know if anybody really noticed that because people were just like involved in what the veterans were doing and what the truck drivers and so on were doing. They really weren't. I don't think too many people were paying attention to that. And then they had a helicopter also come through. But that one noise was not a helicopter, okay? So I'm trying to figure out what that was. I did put something on Facebook to ask people, and nobody responded, so whatever. And also, you hosts out there, other new hosts and stuff like here on this network and other networks, if you guys want to start a group page, be careful, okay? Be careful of the group page, because I literally got attacked for inviting people and didn't realize that that was a no-no, okay? Seriously, a no-no. I had it, yes, I did. I had to unfriend some friends, and that wasn't a nice thing to do. For one thing, I don't like doing that. I don't like unfriending friends. I like to have friends. I like to have friends from all over the world. Everybody. I love to have friends. And some people were telling me they don't like me. Wow. Interesting. Well, that's true. I mean, not everybody's going to like everybody. Isn't that true? Isn't that true? I mean, not everybody's going to like you. It's just, you have to come to grips with that one. And I really did feel bad for a couple days, but then I thought did come into my head, and maybe some people don't like my thoughts because maybe some people are atheist or some whatever, but I tell you, my thought was Jesus getting attacked by these bad guys way back 2,000 something years ago, and he was put on a cross and nailed to a cross with big nails and just sat there and suffered until he died. The Son of God, okay? Or the Son of God, or God. Some people say God. I don't know. I was raised to know that he was the Son of God, but who knows? I'm so confused anymore these days. I'm not sure what the heck's going on. Everybody's got a different story for everything, so who knows? But anyway, I'm just saying that he was he stayed there to suffer, bleed to death, and was probably in terrific, inconceivable pain. Okay, and these bad guys, they were there just loving it, and they were just wanting to. I think it was like, what was that? The king of Rome or something? I don't know. He wanted him dead because I guess he was like a jealous king or something, because he was hearing too much good stuff about this guy over there and Israel, and he wanted to get rid of this guy because he was too good of a guy, and he was taking away there I lost the words there again. He was just taking away the attention of the king, and he wanted all the attention, blah, blah, blah. I guess. I don't know. I'm a guess. I'm not, like I said, my history really sucks, okay? I'm just really bad at history, but what I'm saying is, though, I think that's basically what happened. But there was bad guys in those days, okay? Well, there's bad guys in these days, too, okay? And you can't get away from them. So, I just placed myself there, and I thought, well, my life will never and could ever never be as bad as that. So if I could walk in his shoes for just one millisecond, little tiny second, and say, wow, that was suffering. That was horrible. That's what bad people do to good people. And I think I just thought, okay, my life's not that bad. So then I was relieved in a way, but, thinking about that is a terrible thing, right? But then, you kind of relieved in a way, saying, well, my life is like, is it that bad? Not really. So if somebody hurt me,